Hey everyone, it's Krista from KristaIrene.ca, and today I'm going to be painting a snowman in my art journal. So if you'd like to join me, please join along. So when it comes to an art journal, one of the things I always say is perfection is not required. This is just for fun. This is just to practice your painting skills. And since Christmas is coming up, I wanted to paint a snowman. So the first thing I'm going to do is just draw some circles for the snowman. And I'll be painting over this, so I'm not really too worried about a perfect circle, just sort of what I think a snowman's gonna look like. I think my snowman is going to have, he's gonna have some arms, like, I don't know, maybe a stick arm. We'll see how that goes. I don't know. Okay, I kind of like it. A stick arm. I'll probably have to draw the stick arm again after because I'm going to paint over the snow. And I think I'll leave the stick man like that. This is, again, an old baking pan that I got from a thrift store that I use to put my colors in. I think what I'm going to do now is put some gray under, like on the ground for the snowman, so it's a light gray color. And I want it to be sort of like there's lots of snow, so I'm just gonna, hope you can see the bottom. There we go. I'm gonna check to see if you can see the bottom. Oh, I think you can. Okay, so that is the bottom part where the snow will be, and snow is not always perfectly white, it's different colors. I'm going to be adding more colors to this. Now I'm going to do behind the snowman in maybe a blue color, and I'm just dipping in exactly, like I don't care if the gray mixes in. It's going to be a sunny day out for this snowman. And I don't personally buy expensive brushes for art journaling because, as you can see, I'm kind of rough with the brushes, just sort of getting the paint on the paper because I'll be painting over this. This is just the first layer. So I kind of like what that looks like. I might actually take a little bit of white, just mix it in there. The thing about the cheap brushes is sometimes you will see like little bits coming off of it that I just like pick off there. So I've got the basics of the sky in, and then there's another piece there. Okay. So I've got the basics of the sky in, and I'll be going back over that again. But now I'm gonna go and paint the snowman. Now normally, well, there's a little gray showing and that's fine. Like if your paints aren't dry, that's gonna happen. And I'm gonna try not to get the arms too much just because there's a lot of heavy paint on that. And you can use any paint you want. I use, because I paint a lot of canvases, I use a Golden or Liquitex, but you can use any paint you want from the dollar store or wherever you get your paints. Okay, so I've got his arms on. And one of the things I like to do is work in layers. So I'm gonna get a bigger brush now, and I don't have the blue that I want in my baking pan, so I'm gonna use this blue, just a lighter blue. I'm just gonna put it right on, my art journal tends to be messy, so if you're following along, it's just making, like, I'm just having fun with it. I'm not trying to make like a masterpiece. I'm just having fun. I like messy lines too. I don't like, for me personally, when I'm painting, I like it to sort of look messy. So, oops. So I'm just sort of getting it on there. There we go. Snow can have like a blue hue to it. So I'm just gonna go around just half of the snowman and just give like a little blue. I'm going to be going over it again in white, but there's a little blue again with the snow too. I'll be going in and fixing that as well, but putting a little blue on there. So while that dries, one of the things I do want to do is get his hat on. So I'm going to use a little bit of black for that. And I'm just going to draw like a little hat. I like that. And I think this guy is gonna have a scarf. So if I'm gonna give him a scarf, it's gonna be in red. Normally I'd wash my brushes and stuff, but because I'm painting this for a video, I don't really have time to be washing the brushes. So I'm just gonna go over that first line below his head and sort of make a scarf in red. I love red. And I'm gonna kind of make it a little wavy. I'm going right over his arm. His arm is going to be behind the scarf. And a lot of times scarf will be thicker sort of at the end. There, kind of like the way that looks. What else am I going to do? I'm going to paint a little more white on his body. I like to do my videos in like 20 minutes. I don't like them to be over 20 minutes. So it's like, how much can I get done in 20 minutes without making a huge mess, because the paint isn't actually drying. So I'm just trying to go over the areas here. I do like this sort of blue, so I'm gonna let that peek through. I do want to be able to draw his face, so do a little, there we go. I like the way that looks. And now to let that dry, I'm gonna go back in, and I'm using a light blue. I'm gonna go back into the sky. And I'm not using that same brush because I didn't really like that brush. I'm gonna use a bigger brush for the sky. And I'm just gonna, I like this brush better. I'm just gonna go right over it, allowing some of it to peek through. And since it's an art journal, it's funny, sometimes I'll think that I don't like painting, and then I let it dry and I go back and look at it a few days later and I like the painting. So, and since it's an art journal, it doesn't matter. I like to keep all my art journal pages so I could see my progress. Okay, so I like this. I like how the blue is sort of the darker blue is peeking through, and then there's touches of it on him and touches of it on the ground. Now what I am gonna do is, there we go, is put a little, even with the blue on my brush, is just come in, because this is supposed to be snow, like a snowy hill. So I'm just gonna come in and do a few little wintry type snow drifts here. And I like the way the gray is just sort of giving like some distinction there. All right, so I'm really liking the way my snowman looks. What I'm gonna do now is, normally I put something there, but that is still really wet. So I'm gonna go back in to the snowman's arm, and I'm gonna just sort of make it like come up like that and get this arm. And then actually, I think snowmans always have their little buttons. So I'm gonna give him his buttons. I think 3 there, which I think look good. And now I'm gonna do his eyes. I think I'm gonna do his eyes with a really, try to use a smaller, pointier brush. And so for his eyes, I don't know if this is even small enough, but you know what? Oh, okay, I'm gonna do it anyway. Let's see what happens. I'm just gonna do 2 little little curvy lines there. Almost looks like eyebrows, but they're his eyes. So I'm just gonna do like, again, they look like eyebrows, but then I'm gonna bring his eyes down. And I probably could work on his eyes, but it would take too long for what I'm trying to do for the video. And I think he's gonna have like a really happy face. I want to do his nose. I'll just button nose, right? Doesn't he have a button nose? Okay, I'm gonna make his eyes a little bit there. I could have a better brush for this, but whatever. Okay. Okay, I like that. And now, I have pink. I have pink. I have a nice pink, but I think I'm gonna mix it with white. I think I'll put it right here. Again, I like the baking pans because I can sort of mix up my paints. That's still a little too pink for me. So I'm just gonna keep mixing it till I get a lighter pink. There. And he's gonna have some rosy cheeks. Which I like right there. I really want to get the red in there. I really want, but I'm gonna leave it. So he's got the rosy cheeks. I'm adding a little white. I think I want the cheeks to be bigger. Really rosy. Okay. Now, the next part I'm gonna do is, I wanna do a little bird. My coffee cup's in the way. I wanna do a little bird. So it's just like the shape of a bird. The one thing I like about acrylics too is if I don't like the way the bird looks, like right around here, I could add some more blue. So I'm just getting a little more red. And I like the way this bird is turning out. Little wings. And then might put a little bird on his hat. So I kind of like the way that looks, except for the blue part. See, I'm just painting over there. There we go. So I kind of like the way that looks. I'm going to touch it up in a minute. And I wonder, I think I'm going to put gold there. I don't think that's going to be, I think because the birds are red, I think I'm going to put gold there. What was the other thing I wanted to do? Oh, I know. I'm going to get green. So I have green here in my little pan, and it's a little dark. So I'm adding a little white to it. I'm not sure if it's exactly the green that I want. I'm gonna add a little bit of this green to it, see what happens. That's a good green. So I'm gonna take that green and I'm gonna just put some like little leaves there. Hopefully that's dried enough. Like a few leaves there. There we go. And because of that, I might now put like a tree there. So I'm just making some lines to put a tree. Just what looks like a tree, it's not. None of my art is supposed to be sort of realistic. That's the thing. It's just for fun. And now I'm taking a bit of the darker because I think the dark looks good here. And I know trees are supposed to like, I'm trying to, there. So when I'm painting, I just go with the flow and whatever I feel like. And I just feel like it looks like a tree should be there. Okay. And now I'm going to take a little bit of the darker and just sort of go over that. Now, normally there'd be don't really have enough red. Okay. Little berries maybe. I'm going right on that green, so I gotta be careful because the green is still wet. Okay, I like the way it looks so far. I'm gonna wrap this up soon. The birds need their little beaks done. And I'm gonna use something really small for that. I'm gonna use black for the beaks. Need a little more black. And I'm gonna give them little eyes. Hold on, little eyeballs. They also need little feet. This one needs feet because he's sort of, I don't know. I'm not really sure what I did there. So, I'm gonna cover that up. So sometimes you make like a mistake there and then it's just like, okay, I'm just leaving that. I'm just leaving that as is. I think the other thing I want for this dude, I'm going all in. I think I want him to have a candy cane. And yes, you know, normally you would let these things dry, but for YouTube, I'm not. Just gonna paint it right on there. And I'm gonna add the white. candy cane. I'm gonna take it more red here, I think. This might be a different red, I don't know. Yeah. I like a lot of texture too, so when you just put nice thick layers on there, the texture really shows. So this is a lighter red, I kind of like it. I feel like this bird's head isn't big enough. There we go. Kind of like that. I'm gonna see if I mix it up with white, if I can get sort of a nicer pink for his, no, it's more of a purple. I think I'll have to mix it up here. And just try to get those cheeks a little. So I think the next thing I'm gonna do is gold. I love gold in all my paintings, so I'm gonna add a little sparkle to his hat. And I like to just dip in the top there. And so I wonder if I just sort of went like that. Might look good on his hat. I don't want to drag it because I know it's still wet. Not bad. See, it's still wet, but and I wonder if I put some by the and now I'm going crazy with the gold. Now I just kind of wonder if I did a few little round balls on the tree. I kind of like gold. Now I'm adding it to the bottom just to sort of see what that would look like. Again, it's an art journal, so you're supposed to have fun and do whatever you feel like. Now I like it. I'm not, like, I wish